What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Wali Shah, and you are tuned into Mad. In the beginning, when I told my parents that I was passionate about music and rap specifically, there was a lot of backlash because one, they didn't quite understand it, and two, they had very high expectations of their children, and reasonably so. They came to this country with very little, and they want their children to do well. So when they sat me down and said, "Look, Wally, we want you to be a lawyer or a doctor," it's because they didn't want me to struggle the same way that they struggled. So for them, it was almost like I was wasting the sacrifice that they had made coming to Canada. I also knew the conversation had to be a two-way street. So that way I was acknowledging what they had done for me, but also wanted them to acknowledge that I had a very strong passion that I wasn't ready to give up on because I knew I was talented and I didn't want to waste that talent doing something that maybe I wouldn't have enjoyed down the line. And when I broke it down to my parents in a very honest way, they started to understand. I was the first real poet out of Mississauga to do it at the level that I have been blessed enough to do it now, right? And being the first one to really break that mold and do it has really set the tone for the next generation of young artists that want to do poetry and rap music within Mississauga. I want to do this because there's other kids who know exactly what this feels like and have a talent and don't have the opportunity or avenue to share it. There was not a lot of resources for me at that time, right? I didn't know where to start. I was the oldest kid to, immigrant family that just was looking for a way out. And I doubted myself a lot because of it. I didn't think I was going to be successful. I thought that I was wasting my time and maybe I really should just focus on my academics and push 100% into that. And so that self-doubt held me back quite a bit when I first started. And in a lot of ways, I didn't feel good enough. I was scared to show my talent. I was scared to audition for talent shows, look for opportunities. Like I put a barrier in front of myself when there wasn't even an obstacle to begin with, right? I created one for myself. And so I just think if I had done that earlier, if I had been more open with myself earlier, which I think a lot of people watching this can relate to, just focus on what you believe. And if you are good and if you will work hard and make an opportunity for yourself, it doesn't matter what those people say. In fact, what they say should serve for you to follow that dream even more diligently.
In the club looking so conspicuous and wow, all these women all on the prowl. I be on the night like a flock of owls. Now forget about the game, man, I spit the truth and I won't stop till I get him in the fancy suits. So give me the rhythm, make it into the flow, then turn over to the front and touch your toes. I left your jag and I took the rolls. If they ain't coming, then I leave them on for patrol. How you like me now? When my biggie's valued over 300,000. That's like you don't want to please. Wally, fill your cup with cold iced tea. Be it early once more, then we leaving them dead. We want to freak in the streets.
For the majority of my life, I've been in Mississauga, with the exception of a few years being in Toronto. I've never been back to Pakistan as a grown up. I went when I was a kid. I remember seeing a lot of struggle, a lot of poverty, a lot of people, you know, living in subpar conditions, and that kind of stuck with me because it was so disturbing living in Canada and going back and seeing that. But it definitely made me appreciate my life a lot more as someone who was an immigrant, because sometimes you think, oh, we got it really tough because we're an immigrant family and things are really hard, but it's a lot tougher for people back home. My parents always tried to instill a greater respect for my culture and my language. And so part of me wants to experiment writing in Urdu and then, hopefully getting a chance to perform back in Pakistan. The real issue with being an artist is finding your niche. And I've been very fortunate to have found slam poetry, spoken word poetry as my niche because it's given me the opportunity to really be one of the very few South Asian poets in Canada. And when you are in such a specific niche and people like what you do, you're always going to get booked because you don't have a lot of competition. Whereas if I wanted to be a rapper, there's a million rappers out of Toronto that want to be the next Drake. Prior to the coronavirus outbreak, I was spending a lot of time on the writing and creating the content for artists. Now I'm still doing that, but I'm putting a significant amount of time into the business development because I have to adapt to, an increasingly online world. Obviously, being an artist, you lose a lot of work. You're trying to adapt to a world that is just shifting very, very rapidly to exclusively online content, it's been hard. But I've also taken the initiative to take this time to write more often because I do have more time. Whereas I don't have bookings, but I had a really big year before Corona happened. You know, I was on tour all over Canada performing for tens of thousands of people. I got the chance to perform for President Barack Obama, and there was a lot of really cool things happening. And because it just quickly, like suddenly, just came to a complete standstill, it has been like a bit of a figuring myself out now. You know, reinventing myself now.
Go, 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 shawty. It's your birthday. We gon' party cause it's your birthday. We gon' eat biryani cause it's your birthday. You know we don't really care cause it's your birthday. Find me in the club, bottle full of bub. Mama got the bond. If you into having shot, I'm into having bong. I ain't into Mickey Bot, so
You know, it's been a lot different. And it's been a difficult and challenging experience for everyone, whether you're on the artist side or on the production side. It's still been so amazing to be able to see how we've all come together and made it an amazing final product. So I'm really grateful to be a part of it, man. Thinking about some of the headliners that we got this year, I performed for the Meat Bros and did this massive show that got, millions of views. Like, that is huge to be a part of. Seeing other artists grow because of this platform and seeing how big this platform has gotten in just a matter of a few years is really cool to be a part of. And I'm really proud of the team for getting here. This opportunity is such a big blessing, and it kept me sane throughout COVID, to be honest, because there was so much craziness happening that, just getting a chance to, have an outlet and still have one big thing on the go that I was still working on kind of kept me grounded for a while. This festival was good for me because I reunited with people that I really loved and enjoyed working with. And I got the chance to really push myself and challenge myself to work in an environment that was very different, challenging, and pushed me to be a better artist and pushed me to learn more about myself and rediscover and reinvent myself.
It's your boy Wally and we won't stop. I see my girl Stephanie and we won't stop. At the PM and we won't stop. We at the PM and we won't stop. We at the PM and we won't stop. Oh, this time I'ma kick your freestyle. Keep it going on for a little while. Be like Eminem in his 8 Mile. This is for the kids in the stream for a smile. Yo, gotta keep it going. I got a nasty flow, I keep flowing. Got a talent, I got to keep showing. I'm too sick, I got to keep blowing up. But I'm not a terrorist. These bars show you a real terrorist. Yo, my flow's that crazy. And my flow's kinda like Jay-Z. Bring it back, bring it to the track. Freestyle sound sick, I never been whack. This is where we is, this is where we at. BMM, this is where we at. It's your boy Pratik and